the show for real estate entrepreneurs.
I think even just young, I always wanted to get in real estate, and I was intrigued by real estate. And I think, you fast forward today, so the multifamily game, when you understand it, it's a great place to be in. I mean, there's clients I know that have literally bought their building back again. They bought it 20 years ago and they're buying it again.
Yeah.
Like, why are they doing that? I said, it's just a game. It's a tax thing. It's a cash flow thing. I'm in an exchange. It's crazy. So we ultimately ended up in the multifamily game because I think all the things you can do with it. Mm-hmm. And 1 to 4 is tougher. It's harder to scale. I tell people if you have 100 homes and you want to sell them all once and trade up, that's really, you got to be a magician.
Yeah.
But if you have 100 units and you want to sell it and trade up, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's why I ultimately picked the multifamily game. I think a lot of people start with a 1 to 4, which is smart, and they get their feet wet, and then they move on. And I think you move on because you get educated. You start listening to podcasts. You read books. Look, let's be honest. There's more data and information than ever before. Mm-hmm. I think that's why more people are in multifamily. Even I was listening to Grant. He said, the last 5 years ago, the amount of money that's come into people buying assets that pay them cash flow is out of control. And I'm like, yeah, because I think the internet, the international community is now seeing the podcast.
The word's out.
Exactly. The word is out. Yeah. And so they realize this is a really good business from a lot of different standpoints. So I like that. We also manage, over 1,000 units. So I got a PhD. We rehab 500 units, turned 2,000, rehab 40 buildings. We did so much stuff. It was insane. We helped people build portfolios. Probably didn't make as much money as you're doing yourself, but we really learned the game and got around a lot of people and got a lot of respect. And so, for me, it's really simple. Like I tell people, this is exactly my philosophy. Monty's heard me say this a million times, but I actually rent a home now. I don't own. So we're getting pretty close to where 2 years, 2 more buildings, where I'll basically be able to wake up and the cash flow will pay for my life and a really nice home, and I'll never have to work again. So I get to wake up every day, go to work to buy another building, not to pay my bills, not to chase the buck.
Oh, I like that.
And so I tell people, you don't have to follow my thing. I said, but I'm around a lot of mentors that they decided to do that first instead of going to buy the car, buy the house, do all this stuff. And then they're like, now how are you going to build this? It's really challenging. So we built this first and I can do that second. So my goal in life, I tell people, is just cash flow driven. And so when I wake up every day, I know where my dollar's going. I know that some's going, if it's going to tax, if it's going to this, that, but I save a lot of our money and I put it to work because I know why I'm putting it to work. And at one point we'll buy a nice house, put the money down, I'm okay with it. And I'll have the cash flow, pay that, my life, everything. And then now I get to wake up and go to work just to buy more units, which is more of a generational legacy wealth thing.
Yeah.
And that's literally my mindset. And it's like, I get razzed by friends and everybody, even Crystal's like, I said, behind the prize, baby,
Yeah.
So that's really the game for me. That's through mentorship. That's from people I've known. You know people that, going a couple thousand units here, it's like, look, they worked hard, but the life's pretty easy. They work, but it's easy. It's coming in every month. And so I've done loans for 17 years and I've got to see people's financials and how they spend money. And how it's amazing how many people make good money, but they literally have nothing left over. And I see the stress and I see the anxiety and I see how I'm going to save for college and all this. And I'm like, this is insane. I don't want to do that. And I see people over here that I've done a lot of loans for that they own properties. They're not stressed. They got cash flow. They got equity they can tap into. You're not driving Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They're just pretty chill. It's the millionaire next door, but but they get to travel. They get to enjoy life. They're hanging out with their kids, and I think that's more attractive to me than having this life where I've got to go grind every day, and I'm so stressed out that it's like if I had to, if I couldn't work for 6 months, I think I'd go broke. I think COVID, like Warren Buffett says, when the tide goes out, he's wearing pants. We were talking about that. This run that we've had. Obviously we don't know where it ends or whatever, but you're going to see the people that are over leveraged. That's what happened last time will happen again.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be over leveraged on multifamily that's paying me rather than over leveraged on a lifestyle that I got to pay for.
Yeah. It's a great way to look at it.
To watch this full Founders Club interview, click the link in the description below. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for future videos.